Hi everybody, I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope your week's going well. I see all the fall colors out there. Everybody seems to be transitioning over into fall, and some are already getting some low temperatures. Even where I'm from, I saw where my mama lives. It was like in the mid 50s one night this week. So you folks are getting a little bit cooler. Summer's over, so get ready for the winter coming. I did the video, I did this as part two because I did part one about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it seemed to help some people. It seemed to be quite popular, and I had mentioned that I was going to probably update this one and do some more tips from time to time. Now, one doesn't necessarily lead to the other. This video, it stands on its own, so you can watch this on its own. It's not like you need to watch it first, but I'm going to put a link right here to the first video, and you can go check that one out too, because that one had some really good tips in my opinion. Just simple stuff. Like I say, I don't try to get into all this deep explanations and science and this and that. It's just little psychological hacks to help make this lifestyle work for you, because all the nutrition's out there. You don't need no crazy hippie like me explaining the particulars of it. You've got the China study, Whole, you've got Esselstyn info, you've got all kind of experts, Brenda Davis, you got tons of people. So in other words, I try to focus on just little tips and little practical applications that might actually help you do the lifestyle. You know, it kind of takes it out of the book learning and into the application part of it. One of the first things that I will talk about today is getting the greens in. It took me a while on that. I don't remember, sometimes I don't remember the progression absolutely. And I can't remember when exactly it finally clicked with me. And a lot of that came from watching a lot of Tanny Rawls videos, because she very much stresses the greens. She might be one of the few people out there that I believe actually gets in the amount of greens we should be getting in every day, but that's neither here nor there. But the greens, you need the greens for a number of reasons. There's a lot. I wrote this down. Greens have more nutrition per calorie than any other foods on the planet. So while the fruit is so important, and that is the base of the diet. That's the base of my existence. I wouldn't even want to guesstimate like what percentage of my calories per day comes from fruit. I would have to say at least 2/3 of my calories each day come from fruit. But the greens, what are the greens going to bring for you? Well, there's just so much nutrition in there. You've got the minerals, you've got the calcium, you've got iron. It's rich in fiber. One of the biggest things is that being rich in fiber gives you, when you're adding greens throughout the day to the fruit you're eating, it makes you feel more satiated, or it makes me feel more satiated, and it gets you through. Sometimes people complain, even though they love the fruit and know fruit fills me and I can do without the greens. I've just come to where I don't want to. But if you're struggling a little bit, with the raw thing, if you're new to it, and you're probably going to struggle a little bit if you're just getting started, the greens will help a lot. The greens are going to help satiate you during the day. They'll also kind of help tamper down all that fruit and all that sugar you're bringing in like that. Because I get on those fruit buzzes sometimes, and I need my greens just to tamper me down just a little bit. So, if you're not doing that already, get plenty of greens in your diet. And you get them two ways. For the longest time I was just getting them in the nighttime, all fruit and whatever through the day. It was mostly fruit smoothies and juices and eating fruit through the day. And then I'd try to pack in greens at night with a big salad. Well, now I still have that green salad, but for the last couple of years or so, I try to get as much greens in those smoothies during the day. So, kale, spinach, different lettuces. Hell, I've even put broccoli in smoothies before. But whatever is your taste, that's going to help you a lot, because it's gonna, like I say, it's gonna satiate you and get through the day. Which leads me into number two, which would be adding in some seeds during the day and getting some of that good omega-3 fat. There's just something, and there's people that can explain those details and that science of it, but probably Tanny Raw would do it better. But there's just something about that combo that really sticks to you and keeps you going through the day and doesn't leave you hungry when you're having the green smoothie, when you're putting your greens in there, and you're also adding some healthy omega-3 fat in there. I don't get flax seeds all that much because from what I understand, to keep them fresh, you actually need to grind the seeds fresh and put it in there, or otherwise they're too seedy. I don't know. I've just never really done that much with flax seeds, but the chia seeds, they're great. You can get them most anywhere, and really will help you with those smoothies. So add the greens in your smoothies and add those chia seeds in your smoothies, and you're probably going to find that you have a lot easier time getting through the day, getting to that next bit of food than you might currently be. Connect with others. That's one that's very important. I don't know why I didn't talk about that one last time. That one could have almost gone in the top 5, but these aren't really ranked. They're just different. But now ideally, if you can connect with others face-to-face in your area, that's best case scenario. If you've got a live buddy, you guys can lean on each other, share recipes, share food together, and what have you. Not an option for many of us, and that's why we have online. Find your people online, but find people that are productive and like-minded. Don't just get into groups just to be part of a group, because I think so many of the groups are so counterproductive, because all it is arguing and a lot of pride about, look at me, I've got more knowledge than you, and it's just back and forth all day, and you don't really take anything from that. Hell, Facebook groups are free. If you've got a good group of 5 or 6 or even 10 solid friends that you're all kind of the same temperament, and you're not into that drama, make yourself your own little private group. 10 people is a good support system, but if possible, try to be connected with other people doing this lifestyle. And if you live in cities, or if you don't be super picky. Don't necessarily be like, I have to reach out. I only hang out with fully raw vegans. If you're around major cities, there's a lot of high carb vegans. There's a lot of high carb vegans that do Fruit Lux. They're not necessarily fully raw vegans, but they're high carb vegans. They're vegan. They're doing a plant-based lifestyle. Don't get too caught up in the fully raw. That could be a separate one itself. Don't get too caught up in the fully raw. Remember what it's for. This lifestyle's for. It's about not stressing or not having some dogma approach. It's about getting more fresh plant-based food in our body every day. So ideally, if you can meet people locally, that's great, but have your core people online, that you can chat with, that you can go to, that you can talk with. The next one is get some toys in the kitchen. Now, you've heard me talk about the toys and how the expensive stuff isn't necessary, but there's a certain comfort level of maybe having that one machine, that 1 or 2 tools that you're comfortable with. I was using my NutriBullet this week, and I realized I've really come over the last, God, have I had that 2 years or 3 years? However long I've had it, I've come to really like that one. Now I have my Ninja, and eventually one day I'll get a Vitamix, but there's something special about that NutriBullet. Maybe it's just because I've come to understand exactly what portions do what for what consistency, but I really like my NutriBullet, and I like the fact that you can take it places with you, even though I haven't traveled with it a lot so far. So find a few things in the kitchen that make your life a little bit easier. A sharp knife. For the longest time, and I can do it, but I've had a dull knife up until about 6 or 7 months ago when I finally bought one in Walmart. It was a Faber or Farber or something like that. It's a good little knife. It's a ceramic knife, but get yourself a few things, and this is personal to you, so I can't say get this or that, but get yourself a few things that really make life easier for you in the kitchen that you're going to use every day, and just, that's personal, whatever works for you. And what's the last one I had down here? Don't put unnecessary temptation on yourself in the beginning. I hear people all the time, well, what am I going to do if I go to this get-together, this family event? Don't go to that. Don't do it. This is just one approach. Don't do it if you're in the beginning. Maybe in your first 6 months, 8 months or so, treat it like you would if you had quit smoking or quit drinking. People don't have a problem telling you that if they've quit drinking. I can relate. I just don't go to anything that's at a bar. I'm not talking about me personally. It never bothered me, but you see what I'm saying? If you've just quit drinking, there's that temptation there. You don't go to parties. You don't go to a bar until you kind of like get used to a new lifestyle, until you can kind of handle that, until it's not so much a temptation anymore. Same thing with smoking. They tell you, you know, when you quit smoking, you might want to quit drinking for a few weeks, because a lot of people associate that, you know, I pick up a drink, I pick up smokes. So why wouldn't you do the same thing for food? Just bow out. You know, even if you have to make something up, it's not, you don't have to tell everybody everything all the time. Maybe you don't even get so deep into, hey, I'm raw vegan, I'm not coming, but you're like, well, you know, I'm making some lifestyle changes and I'm eating a lot differently now. I'm not drinking alcohol, and that's really just not a good time for me. Thank you very much, but I'm going to pass this time until I'm a little bit more solid on my lifestyle. And just remove those temptations, but remove as many temptations as possible. You know, if you're living by yourself, remove the temptations from your house, remove the temptations from your car. Don't put yourself in situations where there's going to be temptation if you don't have to. There's going to be events. There's probably business events. There's probably obligations you're going to have to do. So I understand that. I'm just saying reasonably, things that you don't have to, don't have unnecessary temptation. Anyhow, there's 5 more for you. I hope those were beneficial. If you like this one, give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll hit that subscribe button down below, please. And I hope you're having a wonderful week. Almost time for the weekend. Man, the time just goes by. It's going to be the end of the year before we know it. Love you guys.